I picked up an injured werewolf. In my spare time, I loved nothing more than curling up in its soft fur and falling asleep. Later, when it recovered and turned back into human form, it glared at me fiercely in warning.
A werewolf only ever has one mate in their lifetime. I already have a wolf I like, so I will absolutely never accept you.
After saying that, it ran off, and I just stood there in a daze, not understanding. What was it talking about? I've always treated it like a dog. What does that have to do with being mates? Later, I bought a big Labrador and brought the dog home, only to see it squatting at my doorstep. A werewolf looking utterly wronged.
You humans are so fickle. You abandoned him. Why not keep me instead? I have more fur than he does. It's thicker. I eat less, and I can even earn money. All the money I make will be yours. If you don't agree, I'll eat that dumb dog you're holding.
4 months after I picked up the werewolf, he went for a run on a dark and windy night. Before that, he even warned me with a face full of shame and anger.
A werewolf only has one mate in their lifetime. I already have someone I like, and I would never accept another, so keep those dirty thoughts to yourself. I will never like you.
After saying that, he ran off, leaving me standing there in a daze. What is he even talking about? I've always treated him like a dog. What does that have to do with being mates? Picking up a werewolf was a complete accident. At first, I thought he was just a dog. It wasn't until 3 days after I brought him home that I discovered he could turn into a human. He was lounging comfortably on my sofa, nestled in the cushions, eating chips and watching TV. Whenever something made him happy, his big fluffy tail would wag and sway with joy. In that moment, I can't even count how many times I recited in my mind the 24 core socialist values. Later, with a look of utter disdain, he explained to me what werewolves actually are, and only then did I understand. It turns out they're actually a naturally evolved species. As I played with his ears, I asked, "So, can you eat dog food?"
Stop pinching. I want to eat meat, not dog food. I'm not a dog. That kind. Those low-level creatures who wag their tails and fawn over humans.
He's actually pretty hard to take care of. The werewolf ran off for no apparent reason. I thought about it for a long time, but couldn't figure out what he was doing, so I just stopped thinking about it. Life was peaceful after that, until 2 weeks later, when a business partner invited me to a cafe to discuss a project. I brought my laptop with me. When I got there and was chatting, it was quite a coincidence. I spotted that werewolf at a glance. He had taken on human form, tall, well-built, dressed in a suit, his eyes cold and indifferent. He leaned on the railing, looking down impatiently at the people below.
Miss Shen, do you know Ji Yanli? Ji Yanli is a major shareholder of Rongon. The reason I arranged to meet here today is also because I know he often comes by.
I was stunned for a moment, then quickly realized he was talking about that werewolf. I shook my head. No, I don't know him. I just thought he was very good looking. Sorry. The business partner sighed, his disappointment obvious, and his attitude toward me became noticeably colder afterward. I didn't mind. After finishing my project presentation and getting up to pay the bill, I saw the werewolf tilting his head. He was talking to a stylishly dressed city woman, the two of them standing very close, their bodies almost overlapping, like a man holding a woman in his arms, or even as if they were kissing. I looked away without much thought. On my way home, I passed by a pet hospital. I saw a big dog displayed in the window, a yellow Labrador. I put my hand on the glass, and it just happened to look up at me, grinning with its mouth open. It lifted its paw and pressed it against my palm through the glass. In that instant, I decided to buy it. Raising a dog is so much more comfortable than raising a werewolf. Dogs can't talk, they love eating dog food, and they're very well behaved. When I'm not at home, it's always lazily, lying on the carpet, waiting for me to come home and take him for a walk. I've taken him to many places, the beach, the ocean park, and the poster gallery. One day, when I went to a coffee shop to buy coffee, the staff didn't allow dogs inside, so I tied him up at the door and warned him to behave himself. Suddenly, 2 people appeared beside him, the werewolf and the woman who had been so close to him that day. Dogs, these creatures who wag their tails and fawn over humans, really bring shame to the canine family. The werewolf next to him also had dark, gloomy eyes as he looked at me, but I didn't care. I patted the Labrador's head. In a gentle voice I said, "Be good, baby. Mommy will make you beef meatballs tonight." After saying that, I got up and walked past those 2 people without giving them a single glance. When I came out, my dog was gone. The leash that had been tied up was loosened, and both the leash and the dog were gone. For a moment, my movements froze. The werewolf was standing at the door smoking.
Look, it doesn't want you anymore. How could a creature without consciousness possibly be loyal to its owner?
A wolf can actually smoke. Feeling annoyed, I walked away, calling the dog's name as I searched for him. As I looked, I asked passers-by if they had seen him, a yellow Labrador. I walked nearly 2 kilometers without finding him, and I started to panic a little. Just as I was about to call Dongbao for help, I suddenly heard a whooshing sound nearby.
If it's lost, then so be it. What's so great about that purebred dog anyway? Can't even track its owner by scent. What a disgrace to the canine family. What's so good about it? Always acting wild, looking like a lump of human excrement. Just look at its demeanor. You can tell it's no good. Don't just keep dogs on a whim. Canines are all very possessive.
I couldn't hold it anymore and, angrily scolding him, asked, "Are you crazy?" He was stunned, then looked at me in disbelief.
You're getting mad at me over that stupid dog? You've only had it for 2 weeks. Because after you get mad at me over it, are you going to set the dog on me next? You can't treat me like this.
He looked so wronged, almost on the verge of tears. The wolf, who usually acted for a long time, stared wide-eyed, its eyes brimming with a deep red. But I was speechless, unable to understand what it was doing. It's my dog, after all. Of course I would protect him. Besides, you were the one who said we have nothing to do with each other anymore. I sized him up for a moment and said, "Judging by how you look, you seem to be doing pretty well in human society. Settle up the money for all the meat I fed you before. I need to buy toys for the dog. He looked like he was about to die of anger because of me."
What kind of toys does a dumb dog need, President G?
Suddenly, someone called out to him from across the street, interrupting him. That person ran over excitedly, eyes shining as he looked at him. It was that business partner from the other day.
Why didn't you say earlier that you know President G? We'll sign the contract for that project right away.
He turned to talk to me. He was enthusiastic, unlike his calmness the other day.
I'll get the contract drafted immediately. Wish you'd mentioned President G sooner. We could have avoided all this delay.
Lost it. Even the dog is forced to work overtime on a day off. Damn wolf, I have to keep smiling along. While the client wasn't paying attention, I turned my head and glared fiercely. I shot the wolf a glare, and his expression became even more innocent and even more aggrieved. His big eyes welled up with tears, as if they could fall at any second. By the time we finished signing the contract, it was already 7 in the evening. Exhausted, I walked out of the company and saw a person and a dog facing off at the entrance. The yellow Labrador's body was tense, its paws scraping against the ground as it growled. It was warning the bad guy across from it, who had the aura of a wolf, while the werewolf stood there casually with his arms crossed. He looked very disdainful, as he said something I couldn't understand. He was communicating with the dog in the language of wolves. Can dogs even understand that? I was a bit incredulous, standing not far away, watching for a while before stepping forward to rub the dog's head. "Don't be upset, baby, Mommy's back." The werewolf was silent for a moment, then came over too, lowering his head and squatting down beside me. "What are you doing?" He leaned his head forward.
I want to be petted too. You raised me as well. You can't just pet him and not me.
I was a bit speechless. I had just learned his identity from our business partner. He's the youngest son of Jingjing Jajia, a shareholder of Rongan, the largest semiconductor manufacturing company in the country. Someone with both wealth and power. He's at the very top tier. How could he be a shameless wolf? I gradually looked at him and spoke. "Just now? You're the one who stole my dog."
I didn't steal it. The leash on that dog was way too loose. I just gave it a tug and it came off. The dog followed the ham and ran away on its own. There was nothing I could do.
I quietly looked at it, without saying a word.
All right, I was wrong. You treat it so well. You pet its head, buy it toys, and even kiss it. I'm jealous. Clearly you used to only keep me, this one wolf.
Weren't you the one who said that yourself? Didn't you say that once you found a wolf you liked, it would have nothing to do with me, and I shouldn't covet you? Was that secretary today the wolf you like? You like her and still come tease me, so this is what you call loyalty?
I haven't been disloyal. That wolf is my biological younger sister. We have the same mother.
She explained anxiously.
It was only because you were hugging and cuddling with another man that I got angry and said that. Those hurtful words. Werewolves only ever have one mate in their entire lives, unlike you, pure humans, who are fickle and unfaithful.
His voice grew softer and more aggrieved, and in the end, he wiped his tears away with the back of his hand.
You saved me, saw my pure wolf form, and even held me. After so many times, you are the mate I have chosen.
How could it be like this?
You can't betray me.
I didn't like you before. The reason I petted you was because you were a dog, not because you were a canid. I don't know how your werewolf clan defines the term mate, but in our human world, hugging and touching don't determine a mate relationship. I told him very directly that I get a commission from that project, so it can be considered as covering your food expenses while you stayed at my place. Now we don't owe each other anything. I don't like you. You don't want to be my partner either. Please don't do any more weird things from now on. Goodbye. No, let's never see each other again. After saying that, I dragged the Labrador away, walking as fast as I could. I just wanted to get away from this strange werewolf. He didn't come after me. I let out a sigh of relief. After getting home, I made something for the dog. Beef, tofu, and cabbage soup, along with a bowl of dog food. I sat beside him. Watching him lick the plate clean made me feel bad. I had let my baby go hungry for a whole day. All day. That werewolf is really bad. From now on, if we see him, let's stay far away, okay? That night, while I was sleeping groggily, I suddenly felt something furry rubbing against my chin. I thought it was the dog and instinctively pushed it away. Baby, stop messing around, Mommy. That thing paused for a moment, then started nuzzling me even more gently. Its nose lightly touched my neck, and its warm breath brushed over my skin, making me tingle all over. I opened my eyes and immediately met a pair of pitch-black, narrow eyes. The other party stared straight at me, his gaze filled with restrained stubbornness. It was that werewolf. I tried hard to push him away, my heart both panicked and scared. His dark eyes glimmered with a faint red, but he only gently pressed my wrist with his paw. His massive wolf body blocked in front of me, firmly shielding me in the middle, cutting me off from all the unease around. The soft black fur brushed against my cheek. Embarrassed, I turned my head to dodge and gave him a light kick. He let out a muffled grunt, his body trembling slightly, but he only slowly leaned closer to me. What's wrong with you? Stay away from me. I was about to speak anxiously when I heard his muffled voice.
I feel terrible. Just let me lean on you for a while, and I'll be fine.
His wolf head gently nuzzled my cheek, and his furry ears brushed unintentionally across my forehead, occasionally letting out murmuring sounds. I was stunned and thought, are you hurt? Or is there something wrong with your body? He shook his ears but didn't answer me. His massive wolf body quietly nestled beside the bed, not pressing down on me. I was silent for a moment, then gently patted his paw. Can we switch positions? I'll move over and keep you company. As soon as I changed positions, I immediately pushed away his paw, climbed out of bed, grabbed the knife from the nightstand, and pointed it at him. You lied to me. He raised his neck in grievance and started howling loudly, the sound so loud and piercing that I shouted at him, Shut up! Do you want the neighbors to come banging on my door? He fell silent, only to jump down and lie on the floor, looking at me with wet, glistening eyes, his ears drooping, clearly upset. I pressed my chest, feeling uneasy. What on earth is wrong with you?
Right now, I'm in my sensitive period. A wolf needs the scent of its mate to calm down. My head hurts so much, I feel terrible, so I could only come to you.
I thought for a moment, so for you and your mate, and even physical connection, it's not just about who you want to choose. There also needs to be a match in scent. Is that what you mean? I looked strangely at the wolf in front of me, his whole body restless, rubbing himself non-stop. His paws pitifully sprawled on the ground, begging me. Given the size difference between us, fighting is out of the question. But I couldn't drive him away. I sighed and grabbed something from the balcony. It was the clothes I took off yesterday and hadn't had a chance to wash yet. I tossed them in front of him. Will this do? The scent was too faint. This wasn't enough for him. He rubbed his wolf head against the jacket, but it didn't work, so he started rolling on the floor. A 2-meter-long wolf rolling back and forth on the floor, grumbling the whole time, and as he rolled, he ended up rolling into me. He completely ignored me as he entered the bathroom. He picked up a worn piece of clothing from the basin next to the bathtub with his mouth. What are you doing? I looked at him, bewildered, as he held my clothes in his mouth. It was both awkward and helpless. I wanted to step forward and snatch it back, but I didn't dare provoke him. This obviously agitated wolf took 2 steps back. I ran out, dashed into the guest bedroom, locked the door, pressed my pounding heart, and sat on the cold floor for a long time before I finally felt a bit calmer. I yawned, climbed into bed, and started to drift off to sleep. I was just too tired. I'll settle the score with that pervert tomorrow. The next morning, when I got up, the werewolf had already made breakfast. Plain noodles with a poached egg and a few green vegetables. It looked quite appetizing. He watched me carefully, wiping his hands on his apron again and again, obviously trying to please me, smiling ingratiatingly. I just gave a cold laugh, leaned against the doorframe with a stern face. What happened last night?
My sensitive period came, and I missed your scent so much that I couldn't help myself.
Pervert.
I'm not a pervert. I'm a pure black wolf.
You still dare to talk back? He lowered his head aggrievedly and fell silent. His slender waist was wrapped in the apron strings, and his posture was upright. He actually looked quite like an elite. Compared to the pitiful and weak wolf from last night, he was like a different person. I quickly knocked on my head to drive away all those messy thoughts. Why does your sensitive period need my scent?
Because I like you. I like you and see you as my mate, so only your scent can soothe my sensitive instincts.
This sudden declaration made me feel awkward inside. I suddenly became curious. If I don't help you, what will you do when your sensitive period acts up in the future?
Then you can just watch me run into a wall and die. Once I've chosen you, only you can soothe me. No one else, not even another wolf, will do.
Are all werewolves this straightforward and stubborn?
It's not about forcing you. It's just that I really can't live without your scent. I'll treat you well and listen to everything you say. Why don't you try giving me a chance?
Enough. Where's Lucky's food? He froze for a moment before realizing that Lucky was the name of that Labrador, and instantly exploded. Damn!
You want me to cook for a dog? How could a lowly creature like that deserve to have me cook for it? Even if I dared to cook, would it dare to eat it?
Are you going to do it or not? He was silent for a moment, then walked over to me, squatted down, and let his ears and tail show, fluffy and swaying, trying to seduce me.
Why don't you abandon him and keep me instead? Look, my fur is denser and softer than his. I'm more obedient, and I can even make money. All the money I earn will be yours. Please keep me. Just me, okay?
His paw, no, his hand, rested on my knee. The slender wolf fur had been deliberately fluffed up into an oval shape to look cute, blinking as if trying to soften my heart. For a moment, I recalled the information I had found last night about the young lady of the G family. Beautiful, from a good family, a natural-born favorite of the heavens. Even in the few public photos, she exuded an elite aura that captivated everyone. Completely different from the pitiful, coquettish wolf in front of me. I paused, just about to say something, when the doorbell rang, accompanied by a man's clear, bright voice.
Miss Shen, are you home?
I realized it was my colleague from upstairs, another dog lover. We had agreed to take our dogs out together. I glanced at the werewolf's tense tail, his eyes filled with red. Noticing my gaze, he gave a slight smile, hiding his predatory nature, and asked softly,
Nian, should I help you drive that bad person away?
He's not a bad person. I pushed him and said, go hide in the room for a bit.
No, I won't. What are you going to do with him that I can't see? You can't treat me like this.
A jealous werewolf is completely unreasonable. The doorbell kept ringing for a long time, and I had no choice. I warned him, if you don't go hide now, I'll never talk to you again.
You're being mean to me for the sake of some ugly guy.
He didn't dare look at me directly. For a moment, his eyes were full of heartbreak. He started crying again, wiping his tears as he slowly stood up and trudged toward the bedroom.
Please do not ignore me.
I really can't understand a werewolf's way of thinking. I shook my head, got up, and opened the door to let my colleague in. I don't know when the dog ran out, but it started happily running circles around him. It seems like he really likes you.
It's like this.
My colleague lowered their head to pet the dog's head, then looked up and saw the noodles on the dining table, giving an apologetic smile.
Since you made noodles, I thought you hadn't eaten yet, so I brought you some fried dough sticks.
I thought for a moment, took the bag from his hand, and said, it's fine. The noodles can go to the dog. I actually wanted to eat fried dough sticks. Thank you. By the time I got home, it was already very late. I changed into slippers and looked at the pitch-black living room, thinking to myself that the werewolf must have already left, and I couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. I opened a can of food for the dog, stood up, and stretched. When I turned around, I saw a pair of wolf eyes full of resentment staring at me from a furry face. I was so startled that I took 2 steps back, tripped over the dog who was eating its food, and my back hit the corner of the table. It hurt so much that tears instantly streamed down my face as I lay down.
You deserved it.
The werewolf picked me up, set me down on the sofa, and rubbed my back where I had hit it, his face cold as he spoke.
Humans who can't make up their minds should be punished.
I didn't say anything and just sat on the sofa, quietly sobbing.
Shut up. Stop crying. If you keep crying, I'll bite you. Are you still going to cry? No more crying. It's all the table's fault, not yours. From now on, we'll ignore it. Be good, baby. Don't cry. When you cry, it makes me feel bad too.
He nudged my neck with his head and his tail swept over, its fur brushing against my face to wipe away my tears.
If it still hurts, you can pull the fur on my tail.
I stared at his tail for a long time, then grabbed it and rubbed it hard against my face, trying to wipe away all the tear stains.
I'm still in my sensitive period, so don't squeeze so hard.
His face gradually turned a little red. He didn't sit in front of the sofa and spoke softly. I squeezed his tail again with a blank expression. He let out a trembling "ow" and covered his eyes. When he looked up again, his eyes were already glistening with tears, shining brightly. I let go of his tail.
It's okay even if it's a bit hard. As long as you touch me, I don't feel bad anymore.
Pervert.
I'm clearly a pure black wolf. Pure black looks really good.
He quietly retorted, the ears on top of his head twitching back and forth. When are you going to leave my house?
Don't want to leave? At least wait until my heat is obviously over. Whether in wolf form or human form, I look great and I'm rich. I can support lots of pups. Why do you dislike me so much?
I shrank back a little. Who would ever want to marry a wolf? What if I get eaten? He eats raw meat, drinks fresh blood, and can even crush bones with his teeth. If he ate me, the police would never find out. Plus, his wolf form is so big. If he lost control and hurt me, the consequences would be unimaginable. No, absolutely not. He froze, as if he hadn't expected this reason, and after a moment asked gloomily,
You don't want a wolf as your partner, so does that mean you won't accept anyone as long as they're a wolf? I can always stay in human form, and I won't show my tail or ears. Would that be okay?
I shook my head. He pressed his lips together, a trace of hostility flashing in his eyes. I really can't do it. You should find someone else to like. With your looks and personality, you could easily find someone 100 times better looking than me, he said stiffly.
I won't change. I'm a loyal wolf, and in this lifetime, I'll only ever like one person. I absolutely won't change. If you don't like me, then I'll just work hard to make you fall for me.
He fumbled in his pocket and pulled out a black card with gold trim, then handed it to me.
This is for you. No spending limit. Use it as you like. Once I've paid, you can't kick me out anymore.
I was silent for a moment, then patted his arm. Turn around.
Why?
He asked as he obediently turned around, tucking his tail away. I swallowed hard and reached for the hidden opening at the back of his suit. I discovered that it was specially made as a tail passage. Just 2 layers of fabric overlapping to cover it. My hand trembled as I brushed the fabric aside, and my sudden movement startled him.
Don't touch it like that, or someone else might notice.
Shut up. I pretended nothing happened and withdrew my hand. I was just curious, how can you still show your tail while wearing a suit? Are all your suits like this? Do you wear them like this when you're outside too?
Of course not.
He let his tail out again, the fluffy fur rubbing against my palm as he acted cute.
I only wear it like this in front of you, baby.
This shameless wolf has settled down in my home. I don't know where he learned these tricks, but he started to let go of his wolfish pride to please that Labrador. Dog toys, dog food, dog treats, and even when ordering milk tea, he doesn't forget to make a cup of goat milk for the dog. Not to mention, they even speak the same language. When I came home and saw a wolf and a dog snuggled up together on the sofa, watching TV and eating potato chips, I felt like the whole world had gone crazy. Jianli, dogs can't eat potato chips.
It's fine.
He turned back into human form and held up the bag of chips for me to see. Written boldly on it were 4 big characters, dog chips.
Actually, humans can have a little too. Would you like to try some of this delicious food?
I fell silent for a moment, then sincerely asked him, Mr. G, don't you need to work? Wrong eye. You have such a big company. Is it really okay for you to just slack off here every day?
A wolf, in its sensitive period, doesn't need to work.
He sensed that I wasn't very happy, but didn't know what he had done wrong. He put down the chips, his ears drooping, and said softly,
My brother will handle my work for the next few days. He said my only task is to properly get through the sensitive period and then bring my mate home.
His brother? The eldest son of the Ji family in Beijing, who is much more famous than him and often appears in the public eye. He's also a wolf, not a werewolf. I felt my worldview was being shaken as I struggled to ask. So does that mean the whole Ji family is?
Only me, my brother, and my little sister are.
He said softly.
Since our mother is a werewolf, all 3 of us are werewolves as well. The werewolf gene is incredibly powerful and dominant. If you and I had a child, that child would inevitably be a werewolf too.
He pursed his lips, went to the kitchen, and brought out a plate of strawberry cake. Carefully handed it to me.
Baby, please don't be mad, okay? I made you some delicious cake. I specifically asked them to add lots and lots of strawberries. They were all air-shipped and are the freshest. Try it.
Seeing the look of anticipation on his face, I hesitated for a moment, but still picked up the fork beside me. Suddenly my phone rang. It was my direct supervisor. He said there was a project that needed to be discussed and asked me to return to the office immediately, saying I'd get paid overtime. I agreed and hung up the phone, only to see the werewolf looking utterly disappointed.
I made a whole table of dishes, all your favorites. You don't have time to eat? It's okay. Your work is important, baby. Go ahead. I support you. In this housewife's philosophy, I will always be your backup. No matter when you turn around, you'll always see me here.
I choked up for a moment, not knowing what to say. I really didn't know what to say. This guy, I don't know who he learned it from. Originally a proud, stubborn, and arrogant wolf, now he's pretending to be a sincere and understanding green tea. Wolf, you don't have to do this. I sighed. It's just a meeting. I'll be back soon. Save the food for me. I'll eat it when I get back. I picked a strawberry off the cake and popped it into my mouth, adding, the strawberries are really sweet. Thank you. It was only when I got to the company that I realized why my boss was in such a hurry. It turns out, the Ji family sent someone to discuss a collaboration, and they even specifically requested it. The head of the Ji family's household came to our group as well, Ji Yanli's older brother. He is far more composed than the young master. Dressed in a suit, with a straight nose and a face as cold as ice, he exuded an imposing aura that seemed to keep everyone at a distance. After the project introduction was finished, he still didn't say a word. After a moment, he pointed at me.
You stay. Everyone else, leave.
His fingertip tapped on the desk as the meeting room returned to silence. He asked me bluntly,
Miss Shen Nian, do you like my younger brother?
I hesitated for a moment and replied softly, For now, I don't want to start a family with a werewolf. Sorry.
No need to apologize, I understand.
He nodded knowingly.
The problem now is, he likes you, and he's convinced that you are his mate. Werewolves go through a sensitive period once a year. During this time, it's very hard for a wolf without the scent of a mate. I hope to sign an agreement with you, so that even if you don't like him, you can still accompany him every year during his sensitive period. I will give you appropriate compensation as a reward.
Actually, I have a question. If werewolves need a mate so much and their mate can't be replaced, then what happens if their chosen mate dies?
It seems you've underestimated how important a mate is to a werewolf. In the werewolf clan, once a mate dies, the werewolf will carry their mate's corpse in its mouth. They go to the snowy mountains, find a cave, and wait for death without eating or drinking. You could say that once a werewolf has chosen a mate, it's as if they've handed over their life into the other person's hands.
Even when I got home and stood at my doorstep, I still hadn't recovered from what Jianzi said. I don't understand. Survival should be the direction of evolution for all living things, yet the werewolf race seems to be evolving in a very strange direction. Evolving? The mate sensitivity period, dying without a mate, these are clearly disadvantages for werewolves. Things that outweigh the benefits. Not only have these traits not been eliminated through evolution, they've actually become even more intense and extreme, almost demonized. I couldn't understand it. I stood dazed at the door for a long time, before finally taking out my key, opened the door. Jianli was still in wolf form, eating a pack of biscuits together with the dog. They almost started fighting over the last one. I called Jianli. She froze, then quickly shifted back to human form, looking flustered as she stared at me.
I just feel more comfortable in wolf form. I didn't know you were coming back. I didn't do it on purpose. I won't change anymore in the future. Baby, just treat me as a person. Don't see me as a wolf. Werewolf, wolf is just an adjective. At my core, I'm still human. You can't reject me because of this.
He kept clenching his palm, waiting nervously. For my answer, I looked at him with deep, complicated feelings, and took the initiative to speak. I'm hungry. Is there any of the food you made left? After we eat, there are some things I want to ask you. Actually, I don't even know what to ask. My mind is a mess, and I don't know what to say. Food that's been sitting out for a while doesn't taste good, and I didn't have much of an appetite either. After eating just a little, I put down my chopsticks and turned my head to see the werewolf eating. He was eating strawberry cake, stuffing bite after bite of cream into his mouth, his face full of joy and satisfaction.
Baby, this cake is so delicious. Do you want to try some?
I shook my head. I wanted to ask him if eating so much cream might not be good for him, but seeing how happy he looked while eating. Forget it. Werewolves are people too, so he should be able to eat it, right? I pursed my lips and asked him, since your family is so powerful, why were you injured next to a trash can in the first place?
My brother's rival overestimated himself and tried to kidnap me to threaten my brother. But it's all been taken care of. It will absolutely never involve you, baby.
He promised me, then suddenly leaned in close and sniffed me carefully.
Baby, why do you have my brother's scent on you?
I actually saw him earlier tonight. Ji Hui, have you ever truly stopped to consider what you would do if I firmly insisted on refusing to be your mate?
If baby doesn't like me, then I might as well just die. A wolf who can't win the affection of their mate is the most useless wolf. There's no reason for them to go on living.
He spoke of death so casually, as if wanting to leave this world was something utterly insignificant. This race's indifference toward life once again shattered my understanding. I asked again, since you want me to be your mate so badly, then why? Before, didn't you say there was a wolf you liked? And you told me not to covet you, things like that. Hearing this, the werewolf coughed, put down his fork, and started bringing up old grievances with me.
That day, a man brought you back, and you even hugged him. Among werewolves, hugging is something only mates can do. Baby, you've hugged me so many times, but hugging him is a betrayal.
His beautiful face was full of grievance.
I was upstairs watching you two hug, and I was so angry. When you came back, you didn't even comfort me. And at that time, my brother told me to go home. In a fit of anger, I said those things, and just ran off. Actually, I regretted it. I know I shouldn't think of humans the same way as werewolves, but I just can't help it. Whenever I think about you being hugged by someone else, I go crazy.
A man hugging you? I thought about it for a long time before I realized that what happened that day was just a foreign business partner giving you a hug. It was simply a normal social custom in their country, but this wolf maliciously twisted it into something intimate. Since you already think I betrayed you, why did you come back?
My brother scolded me.
He said quietly.
My brother said that humans are different from us. A narrow-minded wolf like me will never win a mate's affection in his whole life. If you betrayed me, it only means I'm not good enough yet. I need to be more generous and treat you better so that you'll change your mind.
What kind of hopelessly romantic nonsense is that? Are all werewolves this weird? I took a deep breath. My last question. Do you eat people? His eyes suddenly widened.
Baby, why would you think that? Werewolves are people too. How could we possibly eat our own kind?
He realized what I meant.
So, is that why you won't accept a werewolf as your partner? Because you're afraid of this?
A little, but I'm not afraid anymore. Your werewolf clan is very different from what I imagined. I waved him over and asked, "Can you turn back into your wolf form?" "Tonight, I want to sleep next to you. You're bigger than Labrador retrievers and make me feel even safer." His eyes lit up instantly, like the brightest stars in the night sky. Handsome, wealthy, loyal, and affectionate, he's almost the perfect partner I imagined. And it's him who can't live without me. I'm the one he pitifully begs to love him, so no matter what I do, I won't lose anything. Thinking this way, I figured it wouldn't hurt to give it a try. Yeah, let's try it. After all, I have nothing to lose. Wolves in their sensitive period are like this. He's very clingy, loves to act cute, loves kisses and hugs, and even complains when I don't kiss him. His sensitive period usually lasts for a month, so one day after that month, I couldn't take it anymore. I pushed the werewolf's hand. "Your sensitive period is over. You must control yourself now."
I like you, so I can't help but kiss you. It has nothing to do with the sensitive period. If you don't let me kiss you, I'll feel really bad. If I feel bad, I'll go bang my head against the wall. You don't understand what this means. You're you, but without me, you're torturing me. You can't do this.
I never said you couldn't kiss me. I held his head down and took a deep breath. To be honest, I think you werewolves are still better off finding another werewolf as a partner. At least in terms of physical compatibility, it's a much better match. After actually being with a werewolf, I regretted it countless times. That decision I made before was way too much trouble. Really, way too much trouble. Full of energy and always wanting to mess around at home, I really couldn't handle it. One person, one werewolf, and one dog. I originally thought life would just go on peacefully like that until I was kidnapped. The kidnapper was a frail young man, deliberately giggling at home and acting crazy, howling at his phone, demanding that I pay with my life. It seems that aloof guy has made quite a few enemies. This kidnapper was really inexperienced. He looked fierce, but in reality, he didn't even drug me. The bracelet was a special gift from Jianli. There was a blade hidden inside. I carefully took it out. I used the blade inside to cut the rope while the kidnapper was over there shouting into the phone. I picked up the knife and pressed it against the kidnapper's throat in that empty place. After tying him up, I felt something was off. How could such a useless guy get past my bodyguards? At the sacrificial banquet, my brother found me with a dark expression and said, "Sister, that's not it." In this world, the werewolf clan is divided into two factions. The kinship faction integrates into human society and has served the G family for generations. The other radical faction seeks destruction and opposes peace, acting as the sworn enemy of the kinship faction.